Okay, so we're going to be converting between fractions and decimals. A fraction is a division problem. These four examples are exactly the same. So when you see it as a fraction, 3 over 4, that also means 3 divided by 4. Or it may be written horizontally like this or in the setup. Now there's multiple ways that you can convert between fractions and decimals. The one here we have is just dividing. Now, my students last year really remembered this cowboy and a horse. So the cowboy sits on top of the horse. So you can remember the cowboy is the numerator, the horse is the denominator. When riding a horse, the cowboy is on the top, okay, and the horse is on the bottom. At the end of the day, the cowboy goes in the house and the horse stays outside. So you know which number goes in the inside. The cowboy goes inside of the house and the horse stays outside. All right, so here it is actually set up. The cowboy is the 3, so he's inside of the house. The 4 is the horse, so it's on the outside. Now, go through and you divide. You would end up with 0.75. On the next slide, we have another option, and that option is by scaling up, which you'll multiply or you'll divide depending on if you're going up, you'll multiply. If you're going down, you'll divide. Now you got to think of your tens. So I had the fraction 3/4. So looking at the denominator of 4, you think, how can I make a power of 10 out of that? Well, 4 times 25 will give you 100. And now if I multiply the denominator by 25, I need to multiply the numerator by 25. When I do that, 3 times 25 gives you 75. Now put it together as the fraction. It's 75 over 100, or 75 hundredths, so that would equal 0.75 in the decimal form. So over here, we have the fraction 12 divided by 40. Well, 40, we can scale up, but here let's drop it down to a 10. So 40 divided by 4 gives you 10. So do the same to the numerator, and 12 divided by 4 gives you 3. So your x is 3. Put it together in the fraction, and you get 3/10, which as a decimal would look like 0.3. So the third slide has some videos on converting fractions to decimals if you are still struggling. So watch through some of those. Next, we're going to look at decimals to fractions. Now, a decimal has two important pieces, the numerical value and the place value. Okay, a decimal is read by the place value. We have some color coding over here so you can match up which place value we're talking about. Here's our example, 0.65. Well, 65, you would read that as 65, and the 5 is in the, you look up here, it's the yellowish orange, it's in the hundredths place. So you would read this as 65 hundredths. So this is what it would look like as a fraction. So if you have it as the fraction, anytime you're dealing with fractions though, you need to make sure it is completely simplified. So looking at both of these, they end in a 5 and a 0, so that tells me I can divide out of 5. So I divided 65 by 5, got 13. I divided 100 by 5 and got 20. So my simplified fraction would be 13 over 20. And that's how you would change a decimal to a fraction. And on our last slide, we have some videos. I only need a short explanation, or maybe you need some more thorough explanations. You see that here at the bottom. Okay? Good luck on your work.